wherever you can, turn those experiences into events so that people are you're building actual relationships. And the kind of content that I see winning in 2025 is human-centered. So the quick wins are going to be things like podcasts, quick under 60-second little videos that are kind of in that TikTok-y reel format that have got a really good hook at the beginning, that are giving out and truly educational. Hi guys, and welcome to Marketing in the Madness. Now, as always, I always just kind of start with saying it's a special episode, but this is a special episode because I don't actually have a guest today. It is just me, and I'm trying a slightly different format because I want to share, I guess, more of my views and what I think marketers specifically in the space of B2B should be focused on when it comes to marketing tactics and lead generation in 2025, because that is what I do. It's my expertise. And I guess, as well as recording this podcast, which covers so many different aspects of marketing, it's a passion area of mine and hopefully one that I can help a few of you get ahead in. So here goes. So my biggest thought, I guess, at the moment is AI and the technologies that we use are creating a marketing world which is quite fake. We don't necessarily know what's real and what's not real. And also it's hard to engage us, especially in the world of B2B, when you look like you're being sold to really early doors by a marketing team or marketing content. So stuff that looks maybe a little bit more, designed, branded. I'm not saying that I'm against designed and branded content. I absolutely think it has a place. But what I see is in a world where everything is potentially fake and you don't know if it's even been created by a person anymore, what we need to do is put humans and people front and center of our marketing tactics. And we can see that happening in B2C. B2B, guys, we're still a little bit far behind. So everything that I do at Street, which is my marketing agency, everything I do at Street is focused on person-first, human-centered campaigns and tactics that put people right at the center of the campaigns. So what does that mean? Predominantly, I guess we have grown up as an agency that is very well known for delivering fantastic lead generation events. So lead gen events for me are huge. In a world, again, where everything is fake, created by AI, and you don't know if it's real or not, going to events is probably one of the only places and engagements that you're going to have that you can trust is 100% real. Those in-life real experiences are what will engage people in a world of AI fakeness. So for me, events are here to stay. And I am going to talk to you a little bit more about how you should structure those events to really make sure that you're capitalizing your lead generation opportunities. There's a lot to pack into here in terms of our process. I'm going to try and make sure I cover it all off. I'll probably forget a few things. So number one, for me, right up front, it's developing that value exchange. A value exchange is so important. If you don't understand the wants and needs of your prospects, the things that are keeping them up at night, the challenges that they're facing right now, not 6 months ago, not a year ago, and what you can do to help them, you haven't got a value exchange. How on earth are you going to attract them into the funnel in the first place? So first up for me, whatever it is you're doing, whatever kind of tactics you're deploying, you've really got to understand how you can help your prospects right now. What are the challenges they face today that you can help them overcome? Once you've understood what those challenges are, that's when you can really start to ideate the campaign tactics for your event. It actually is the same for content strategies as well. But you can start to ideate your campaign tactics for your event that, ideally, talk about the challenges that you can help them overcome. So for me, what that means is really focusing in on how I can help people generate leads. So, and talking about, I know it's tough out there. Lead generation has changed. I know how to help you. So, it might be that I come up with a campaign title that says exactly like that. Lead generation is changing. What you need to know for 2025. Maybe that might end up being the title of this podcast. Who knows? So first up, it's deciding that you've got a go-to-market message that really is going to engage your audience and capture their attention because it's a problem that you're solving. Then so many more huge ingredients to putting on a fantastic event, but I'm going to try and list out as many of them as I can. One, have you got an inspirational, wonderful venue that is attractive, that is maybe quite exclusive, that they wouldn't usually be able to go to? or that represents the topic of your event. So for instance, if you are thinking about future trends and what change and what's coming next, why not host an event on Chinese New Year in a Chinese restaurant? There's loads of different things, and I'm talking about somewhere very lovely, maybe like Hakkasan. So it's about developing themes that kind of talk back and speak to the event. We've held some fantastic events in places like Churchill War Rooms, where Churchill fought the war, and we maybe are talking about how our clients are fighting the tech war. Making those comparisons, making it sound compelling, and choosing. Actually, it's a very, very good point I've made there. Choosing venues like Churchill War Rooms, which are fun, that they can go and do a museum tour, that there's more to it than just being, spoken to in the very traditional way. So that actually is another point, is how can you design the events in a way that really delivers an experience that they will remember? We've done some really cool events. In fact, we have a fantastic one, timestamping this, end of November 2024, the first week of December, that we're doing in the Bake Off tent for one of our clients. So how can you design events that are really going to be memorable experiences that bring your audience, prospects, together in a way that creates conversation? And that means intimate, small, conversation-led round tables, running them in a way that encourages everyone to have a voice around the table, so you can actually hear about their problems and understand their challenges, which is going to mean your marketing gets even better. So how can you design events that are exciting, collaborative, fun, engaging, and great venues and programming of the events are both two very, very important points there. The third one, which I think is hugely important, in fact, possibly one of the most important, is if you're having someone speak, having someone that is very inspirational, that is either well known, that is a huge peer or brand leader that maybe your prospects will want to hear from. Ideally, maybe a client that can help tell your story. But even if it isn't a client, and it doesn't have to be a client, someone that is very inspirational, very well known, that has been leading change, is maybe an influencer, or I don't know, someone who's written a book. There's so many different people that you can kind of bring into these events, but someone that is going to inspire and educate your audience that they look up to. That is hugely important. So you've got your strategy, you've got your message, you've designed a fantastic and beautiful event. Now, that's only the beginning. You've got a lot more to do yet. Of course, you've hopefully searched for a date that doesn't have any clashes. You're programming it at the right time of day. I must say, for us, we find breakfast events or dinner events so that you're catching people before they go into the office or after they finish work a lot better. But you also then need to do a lot more. The biggest thing for us, and the reason our events are so successful, is because we run very, very tight nurture journeys. So these are free events a lot of the time. Therefore, you really need to make sure that your prospects and the people that are coming understand how important their place is at that event. So we run outreach strategies that are inviting them very personally, very exclusively. We use email and LinkedIn to do that. We've got some very clever data platforms. Of course, there's lots of other things that go on in the background here. But we run the outreach programs, inviting them very personally, sometimes sharing some exclusive content that they might get at the event, sometimes sharing a report that they might get access to at the event, but sharing something of value and making them feel really special about being invited, making sure that they know this is an individual invite just for them, because we want their voice at the table. We want them to be included in the conversation. And once they've signed up, and we usually run these programs with about 6 to 10 weeks outreach between them, or from start to end, we're not just going quiet at that point. At this point, we are putting a diary invite into their diary. We're giving them a call saying, really excited you're coming. We've also got Harrods, Selfridges, Boots, whoever it might be attending. Who would you like to sit near? Have you got any dietary requirements? In fact, or even better, we've got a menu that you need to pick from. So they're picking their food. So they feel emotionally, they're excited, but also they understand their place is important. And then we're sending them emails running up. We've had some new sign-ups or announcing a new speaker. So we're continually keeping them engaged right from the point of sign-up, giving them that phone call, putting the placeholder in their diary, talking to them about who else is going to be there, sometimes even connecting them with the other guests. So we run them in a very, I would say, friendly, personal, first person way. We're really getting to know them. We're talking to them about why they want to come, what's going on with them within their business, and the challenges that they might have as an individual within their role, but also as a business, so that we can kind of report that back to our clients and they can have better, more meaningful sales-led conversations in the room without being too salesy. That is also an important point. And then, look, there's so many other things that happen here, but the other one that is really important that I think people forget is obviously the running of the event on the day, making sure that it runs perfectly, that you've got that program, that you've briefed your speakers, that everyone knows their role, that you've done a table plan and people are sat next to the right people in terms of, salespeople or the people that you are going to be the thought leaders within your business, that you want to connect with these amazing prospects that you've got in the room. Once the event's done, that is not the end. Definitely not the end. The biggest thing that I see and why these events often fail is there is no follow-up process. So here's what we do. First up, we ensure we have time set aside straight after the event with our client and with anyone else or partners that are part of the event in the room. And we sit down and we run through who had conversations with who spoke to who spoke to who about what. You get the vibe. And then off the back of that, we are emailing those people straight away, because the next day is not good enough. I appreciate evening events. That's not always possible, and it might happen first thing the next morning. But if it's a breakfast event, we are emailing everyone who's attended with the follow-up, securing those meetings within minutes and hours. We are not waiting a day, 2 days, 3 days. It's too long. They've moved on to the next thing. They've forgotten about you. Often they'll send you a little thank you note before we've even messaged them, because they've had such a good time, because our events are designed so beautifully. But that is really, really important. I think it's something a lot of people forget and why they don't see success from their events. The other thing is, of course, this has moved me nicely on to the next thing I'm going to talk about, is content. So we use every event as a content opportunity. We will film the panel discussions if it's a panel discussion. We will capture talking head interviews. We'll capture images. We'll write up the key topics that have been spoken about, which we will turn into an article, slide shares, little reels for, and short form videos that are performing really, really well on LinkedIn. And then we're able to get even more leads because we push that content out to your ICP, totally targeting the exact prospects that you want to have in your marketing lead gen funnel. And you're able to actually get so much more from that event than just the people in the room. Also, there will be people that don't show up, right? On those nurture journeys, as tight as they might be, people will be sick. People will let you down last minute. Those are often the best meeting opportunities. So sharing that content with them and going, look, I know that you had, because we were speaking before, some challenges around this. We would like to get you in and have a chat with you about how we might be able to help, or share some insights that we had from other people in the room. They'll be more than willing to have that meeting with you because they missed out and they probably feel a bit guilty. So the next thing I want to talk to you about is content. And when I'm talking content, for us at Street, it's this. It's these really lovely video interviews with people within your team, talking to camera, telling you the things that they can help you with, educating you. That is how we want to learn now. We live in a TikTok generation and we're all used to consuming exactly this style of content on Instagram, TikTok, in our personal lives. It is no different when it comes to business. There's a reason that LinkedIn have recently launched the video feed within the platform. It's because that's how we want to learn. We want short, under 1 minute videos where we can learn something really, really quickly. And it might be in the copy that supports the video, there's some links to something that's longer form where you can go and learn more. But for me, the future of content when it comes to B2B is person first. And it can be educational, it can be funny, but it needs to be snappy. So we find when we're producing this kind of content, we really want to have a hook up front. Like that first few seconds of the video is really, really important to capture people's attention. So after this, I'm probably going to record some little snappy things that we might use in our short form video to promote this podcast. But really, that's the kind of content that we're really focused on. Podcasts and longer form content that that start to build the relationships in a more deeper, in a more, detailed and ongoing, engaging way. But that short form, person-centered content that brings you and your team to life. It doesn't want to be too salesy. It really needs to be thought leadership led and focused on how you can help people, educate them. Don't worry about giving away your secret sauce. Like I've just done, I've basically given you how we run events at Street, because the likelihood is you're still going to probably need me to help you. And not everyone's going to have the team, the time, or the time to actually go and do it themselves. So there's no harm in me sharing. I think people worry too much about sharing too much, but the reality is the more you share, the more opportunities will come back to you. So don't worry about sharing your secret sauce. Share it, give out all the insights, give out all your brilliance, post it on LinkedIn, develop those really short, lovely, snappy videos. And I promise you, leads will come back to you. And as well as, I guess the big thing that we do here at Street, as well as just posting that content, I think for us, where things get clever is we use some very clever data and automation tools that enables us to target the exact ICP based on the job titles, the companies that they work in on LinkedIn, with the videos that we want them to see. So we're connecting with them, we're engaging with their content, and then we're maybe sending them a LinkedIn message, not salesy, not those really terrible salesy messages that you see, but we're sharing the helpful content with them going, hey, thought you might like this. And more often than not, they go back, that was really helpful. Thank you. Loved that. Start listening to the podcast, start engaging with more of my content. So it's all about developing insightful, helpful content that is not trying to sell anything. It's giving, it's helpful, it's human. That is the way forward. And keep those videos right now under 60 seconds, guys. I think actually when LinkedIn launched the video feed on the platform, it was under 45 seconds. So even better, under 45. I hope you found this little episode useful. I've basically told you what my focus at Street is for next year, but it's really what I think is important when it comes to B2B. There are loads of other things that are important when it comes to B2B marketing. Of course there are. But for me, make it fucking human is going to be my biggest saying of 2025. Like anything you do, bring it to life with people. Wherever you can, turn those experiences into events so that people are you're building actual relationships. And the kind of content that I see winning in 2025 is human-centered. So the quick wins are going to be things like podcasts, quick under 60-second little videos that are kind of in that TikTok-y reel format that have got a really good hook at the beginning that are giving out and truly educational. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. I keep forgetting to do this on the podcast, so I'm going to do it again. If you did enjoy it, which I really do hope you did, please, well, in fact, I'm going to say email us. So email us at Street Agency. My agency is Street Agency. hello@street.agency. If you've got any recommendations of guests, if you loved the episode, I'd love to hear from you. And also, equally important, please do go and give us a 5-star review, especially if you're on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. And again, leave your comments, what you love, who you want to see on the podcast. I really love hearing from you. And actually, those ratings and reviews and downloads, go and subscribe as well, really help us rise in the charts and will enable me to get even better guests and produce even better content for you guys. So big thank you.